everyone. Today, we're going to talk about paying off your mortgage. It's a great concept. We all want to have a mortgage paid off. But one of the supposed biggest experts on paying off debt and talks about paying off a mortgage is 100% completely wrong. I want to talk about this. Check this out. Lots to say.
We're looking at wanting to pay our house off. We don't have any other debt. And how do people do that? Like, is it okay to just set aside the money and then pay it off in one lump sum? Or what's the Ramsey way or is there a recommendation?
Every month, send as much towards the house payment as you can send. And what happens is it lowers your balance. So the next month, more of your regular payment will go towards principal than
Let's
it would
talk
have.
about this right here. I want to stop this right here and talk about this. If the Family Feud comes to mind when you get the big X, it comes up because it's wrong. Wow. Okay. A mortgage is a preset amortization schedule, and I'll lightly touch this because we're going to talk about this some more. You can't pay a mortgage ahead. Let me run that back by you again. You can't pay a mortgage ahead. Compounding interest. It's on a preset amortization schedule, compounded over 30 years. It's not moving. It is fixed. Here's the thing. You can't pay ahead. The next month, you owe the same. Whatever the amortization schedule says on that principal, that's what you're paying. Whatever it says on that interest, that's what you're paying. What he's saying there is like paying off a car. You can pay ahead on a car. You can pay more on a car and eventually not have a payment due for 1 or 2 or 3 months, depending on how much you're putting on that thing. So, just want to listen to that. Let's go back and hear it, but you're probably going to get a lot of Family Feuding going on in here.
Regular payment will go towards principal than it would have if you hadn't. Let's say you sent $10,000, okay? Well, you no longer have to pay interest on that $10,000, so the monthly interest on that $10,000 less will be low. I mean, on the balance will be lower than it was by $10,000.
I'm just doing a little figuring here, and lower by $10,000. Okay, let's back up on this. You can't pay a mortgage ahead. If you pay more on a mortgage, what happens is that money goes to the back. So here's your mortgage. Day one, day 360, which is the end of the 30-year note. Okay, day one, you pay a little bit of extra, so you go bam, and then you have extra coming on here. That extra does not go bam to the next month. It goes like this, boom, to the end and cuts time off. So the principal on the front end, the interest rather on the front end stays the same. Does your principal come down for the payoff? Yes. But does the interest come down in the front? No, it does not. It does not at all. So these concepts of paying off loans, we've got to make sure we got the right loan that you're talking about here. I'm sorry, sir. You are absolutely wrong. Now let's talk about the concepts of paying off a mortgage. Let's say you got an extra 10 grand. Instead of putting it down on the house initially, it is smarter to put it on after the house when you have a loan, because then it cuts the principal down, because $10,000 as a down payment only saves you $70. Now, I totally agree with paying a house off early because the peace of mind is more important than anything else. It really is. And the mortgage deduction for interest is minimal. It's not worth versus the peace of mind. However, how you do it is what makes more sense. If you really want to do it faster, paying all that money onto the mortgage, it sits there on the back doing this until these two things meet. The day one meets with the day 360. So if it takes you 15 years and you put $10,000 on it on day two, what's that $10,000 doing for 15 years? Sitting there. You're not paying less interest until you hit the payoff on 15, and then whatever interest is left, you don't end up having to pay. But think about if you take that 15 and you do something with it that makes money. In 15 years, you could double that twice. So which is better, $10,000 or $10,001? $10,001 every time. So that $10,000 over that 15-year period with a good financial planner, you can have $10,000 developing to $20,000, developing to $40,000. Now, that $10,000 put on the front end of that mortgage, does it pay interest off? No, it pays principal down. The interest for the first 15 years stays the same. It's the last 15 years of interest once you're paid off that you're not paying. So the majority of interest on a mortgage is on the front end. You can't change that. The sooner you pay it off, the less interest you pay. How do you pay a mortgage off sooner? With more money. So if you can take your money and make more money with it, can you pay your mortgage off faster with $10,000 or $40,000? Think about that. So that $10,000 can set for 15 years and still be $10,000. Or you can give it to someone and make it $40,000, $35,000, $50,000. Put it in a safe place with a financial planner that's going to be able to help you, someone who knows how to invest and knows how to protect your asset. They are out there and they're licensed to do what they do. Licensed to do what they do. So the concept is pay off your mortgage, do it smart. And I'm going to go one better. That $10,000, let's say you've got $10,000 a year. So the first year you put it in there, 10 grand, you can double that thing twice. That gives you 40,000 because it goes from 10 to 20 and then the 20 doubles for the next 7 years. Pretty common right there. Especially with the interest return numbers that this gentleman on the video gives out for what he thinks is a good rate of return. With those numbers specifically, you could double that in 7 years. So what are we talking about here? So the next year you have another $10,000. You take that 10, doubles to 20, and then doubles to say 35. So you had $20,000 in the first 2 years of that loan. That by the year 15 is 40,000 plus 25. That's $65,000. How much faster would you be able to pay your mortgage off with $65,000 versus 20? So let's talk about paying off your mortgage, but let's get with people who understand a mortgage and can coach you properly on how to do this to make your money work best for you. I'm telling you, folks, don't play the Family Feud. Don't play the Family Feud. It's just a game to be played at home. It's not one to risk your livelihood with. Don't get X'd, okay? Make sure that you're using your money smartly and leveraging it to help pay your mortgage off faster. Thanks for listening. Hey, if you enjoyed today's video, you're going to enjoy the next one's coming too. Click here. Pow.